Week 13 of the National Football League. And coming up, we'll see this team's rocket-on quarterback. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. We're just moments away from the action, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
In the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they come in playing pretty well, 6-3 in their last 9 games.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
"22 men ready to do battle. It's time to dance." And this one is underway here on EA Sports. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
He threw for nearly 350 yards. His team won. And one word just kept coming to mind as I watched him during the game. Surgical. Absolutely surgical. That's why he won NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, very precise. The throws maybe as accurate as he's been in some time.
Yeah, I think he feels pretty locked in here, and I think he feels like he can get it done.
Well, the first play of the game going to be intercepted. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Wow, just one snap in, partner, and the complexion of this game has already changed because for the defensive side, they just handed their offense a short field and a big early advantage. And even though it's only the first snap of the game, we're going to look back on this one and see if it has lasting effects as this game moves on.
So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
And what he's thinking about right now is first down, let's find a way to make a big play. Because when you get a sudden change situation and that defense has to rush onto the field unexpectedly, you might catch them having a defensive breakdown or not quite prepared.
And it was really sudden after the first play picked off. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after it.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
But Charles, we see some of the injuries that have popped up for this franchise and obviously hoping to get these guys back on the field in a hurry.
Brandon, I'm going to go ahead and age myself, but I'm going to ask you, when you were in high school and there were injuries, did you hear next man up from your coaches?
Well, you hear it every week now in the NFL, that's for sure.
You know, back when I played when dinosaurs roamed the earth, you didn't hear next man up. You heard, oh, no, we've got to put in Davis.
And his kick is good. And that'll make it 3-0 here in the first. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And he's been very impactful when using his legs this year, both when the pocket breaks down and by design. You notice his name sits near the top when looking at the league leaders in rushing yards by a quarterback. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd and 1 situation. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. They work now on 2nd and 9. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And the tight end goes in motion left. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. They'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. Sitting in 1st place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. And they'll send out their punter now. Standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. From the 46, here's 2nd and 3. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11. And a quick throw here. That's complete. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And on now is the punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Their quarterback in this offense heading back out to the field. And he's had his struggles here early with a couple of interceptions as he'll try to refocus with a 1st and 10 to start this drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. An excellent way to start the drive there. 18 yards. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. In motion, the tight end. Back to throw now on 1st down. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. But you look at this defense. They enter this one down in the 26th position in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
And that will be incomplete as well. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and out will come the offense as they take over. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And that'll be incomplete. That's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock the ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
And incomplete on the deep ball. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time. But...
yeah, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. They go play action here on 1st down. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing, is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. The tight end in motion right. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Call that a gain of 11.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. The offense on 3rd down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. That is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Here's 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
So they bring out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. They'll look to throw now on first down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll set up a throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's second down. On play action, they'll throw. And this is going to be intercepted. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
They're going to look to throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Call it a gain of 5 as they move the sticks.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's caught inside the 25. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys have taken the lead. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch, take it to the house. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
2nd and 5. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. They bring their punter out there now as he's on for the 5th time here today. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
He's going to look deep down the field. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you've got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Now back to throw. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that 1st down pickup.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds after his short pickup as that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 6. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The 1st down screen pass, good for 5. Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5. They'll look to throw again. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. They'll try to run this one in. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the 1st half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Second and 2. will take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half, and that'll give us momentum going into the second half. Give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Extra point right down the middle, and that pushes the lead up to 11. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And running with power here. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. One final go for this offense here in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Pressure comes and down he goes. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season.
Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the 3rd quarter and continue this midseason contest. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing.
He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the 3rd quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose. And that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. He'll drop to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll try and run for it. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. So the drive stays alive after the fourth down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left.
And he's got his man on the out route. And they'll get him down inside the red zone at the 14. It's also a gain of 14. 1st down. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's complete right around the 8. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. A quick throw there is incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll look to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And it'll be 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. Now they'll bring one of their tight ends in motion right. They'll try and run it up the middle. And he'll get into the end zone, and those 2 points are going to tie the game. And they turn the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized with a little bit on top.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Here now, 3rd and a yard. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting off field, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Now a handoff as they run left side. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 50 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. And incomplete. A drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Back to throw here. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one good for 24 yards.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the gun, he'll hand this off. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack as a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush, They've been teeing off all game long.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt.
And his kick is indeed good, and they take a 17-14 lead. So it's his third field goal now with the ball game, and they've needed his leg. This last one gives him the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Their lead, they have seen it evaporate completely after such a good first half. They've been shut down here in the third quarter.
Searching for answers, trying to figure out what it's going to take to get back to where they were before. The big part of it is that sometimes you don't have to go exotic now. You go back to basics. Being able to run the football, string some things together, some effective passes, try and get a rhythm established again, and try and get back in the lead.
Back in the lead, like you said, back to the basics. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be second down. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll leave him with a third and just a yard. Back to throw again.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They only needed 1 yard on third down. They get 10 instead by going to the air.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Looking left sideline, it's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now they'll run on the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this fourth quarter. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Here's 2nd and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. He's thankful right now for that sideline because it could have been a fumble loss, instead just a fumble, though they will have to punt it down.
You're right about that, but do you think there's ever been a player happier to see his own punter go on the field than him?
No.
I mean, not at all, right? How fortunate is he that they got a chance to punt it away, and it's not just a turnover at the spot.
That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Now a 2nd and 10.
They'll drop to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Back to throw now on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. One back in the back. Oh, no, he lost the football.
But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
There he goes, right side.
He's to the 15.
And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. So many times, tight games decided by one big play. A lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know, head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
Now for the point after. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is taken at the 23. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. On play action, they'll throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And some room to roam now. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run. 36 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
The situation for them offensively as follows. Down by 10. 1:47 on the clock. They'll need a score here and also likely an onside kick recovery, but first things first. 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
That is caught, and he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now 1st and goal. Out to his left. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Back at the 5-yard line now. 2nd and goal. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments, and anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. .25 seconds to go. A must recover if they're going to have any chance. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for our visitors, they move back over 500 at 7-6. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the home team here, it's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.